Hey everybody, it's ZM, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get the auto build ability, the one ability that's missing from you. And what you need to do is make your way to the chasm that's located here in the Great Plateau, known as the Great Plateau North Chasm. Now I'm going to show off step by step how to do this, because this game is absolutely massive, and I know people are going to get lost. So yeah, let's go ahead and launch ourselves up. And if you're really early on in the game, you might not, have certain things that I have, but just ignore it. Spoiler warning for those, wondering. But I kind of need this for my advantage. As you can see, I'm getting a nice boost of wind, so I can kind of quickly make my way to my destination. But you can get this at any point within the game. You don't have to get it later on. Like the second you actually finish the Great Sky Island, you could go do this if you desire and you want to head back to the Great Plateau. So yeah, the goal here is to reach the chasm here, which we can easily see. The game is a bit foggy. It's running on a 6-year-old Switch, so it makes sense, but it looks alright. I mean, with how massive this game is, I'm still really impressed it can run on the Switch as seamless as it does, even though we might get some hiccups here and there. But okay, let's go ahead and now dive, now that we've arrived to this chasm. I use that Skyview Tower as the best vantage point. I advise you doing it as well if you don't have a closer teleportation spot. But there we go. We have made it to the Great Plateau, and now we're going all the way under. This to me is still so surreal how it works. And okay, maybe we're going a little too fast because the game has completely froze. I don't care. I'll keep that in. I want you guys to see how the game is actually running. Hopefully there'll be many patches that fix this, but for the most part, at least like day 1, day 2, it's pretty slow. But okay, so now what we want to do is reach this very obvious looking mine area. You could really tell by the ruins. The second you land, I highly advise not reaching the surface, because you could easily get to it much faster like I'm doing here. By just continue paragliding if you have the stamina to do so, and if you have the boost, thanks to Toolin, that is actually giving me, a nice boost in the air. But okay, here we go. So yeah, as you can see, it looks like a shrine entrance. It has the hologram, the Zonai, activation center thing that we touch. But this time it will be something a little bit different. So let's go ahead and reach it and check it out. And as you can see, there are some researchers checking it out, though there aren't ordinary researchers. We're going to figure out right now. It's a really cool kind of quest, and I love how it's just hidden for players. But okay, so authorizer verified, and it's moving. Yes, as you can tell by the name already, his name, and yeah, okay, conferring auto build. So we're going to go ahead and now get the auto build rune. This is the one missing rune from the game. But yeah, if you couldn't tell from that researcher, his name is just researcher. And something Nintendo has done is kind of name each NPC, which is very unique. So if they don't have a name, you should be a little bit suspicious. But okay, once again, we hear that rune sound effect that we hear in Breath of the Wild when you get a Sheikah rune, and in this game when you get a new hand ability. And now we got the final one, auto build. So if you're wondering why you were missing one from the beginning of the game after completing the tutorials, this is why, because now you can instantly recreate certain vehicles you build. And here we go. So yeah, these guys were observing, and this is actually like, well, it's a good thing we got this auto build rune. It actually triggers something, which I also want to show off, because this is it. We have it now, but let's complete the rest of this part of the quest here, which I really do want to show off because I find this really, really cool. So yeah, once you get auto build, they're going to want you to go ahead and rebuild one of their Zonai devices, as you just need to kind of pair it together. And pretty much the way auto build works, and I'll go ahead and demonstrate it here, is let's go ahead and build a device. Let's say we don't have any schematics, which that's what mainly auto build is used for, finding certain schematics throughout the game and then having it build it for you, even if you don't know how to build it. But let's say you built something kind of like this. Let's just make sure the tires are actually facing the correct direction. You don't have to be that accurate with it. This is just kind of a side quest, but once you do it, yeah, they'll want you now to go ahead and do the same with this one. You luckily have the Zonai devices for it, so you don't have to use any parts of your own. But once you do that, go ahead and just use auto build, and then it will show you your most recent you know, builds that you've had, and then you could easily just go ahead and auto build it just like that. And yes, just like that, we can easily rebuild anything we recently built if it's in our history, or the schematics that we find, which can be some crazy builds you may have never thought of. But of course, as I mentioned before, these guys are suspicious, as yes, they happen to be of the Yiga, and they just called their master. Now this, to me, is really cool, and I feel like it's a part of this side quest, is yes, this is where we get the introduction of Master Koga. He's back, he's still alive, surprisingly. You know, for some reason, we all thought he would have died, or at least, if we were going to find him again, he would have been in the pit that was in the Yiga clan base. While you can explore that pit, as it does lead to a chasm underneath Hyrule, obviously it's a perfect location to have one, because it was already an empty hole in Breath of the Wild. Yeah, he happens to appear through this side quest, and obviously there is a side quest after this that involves him and continuing it, but that will be for a separate video. If you are interested in that, I'll totally go ahead and do that, but I kind of want to show off the rest of this, kind of complete this side quest as a whole. So yes, Master Koga has introduced himself, and believe it or not, he's not going to let us go off easily, as we're actually going to have to take him on here. It's a very simple battle, but what is cool is we could see some of the other Zonai creations you can create, as he creates some really cool ones. And it seems like a lot of the schematics you find are tied down through the Yiga, as you're going to find so many schematics underground, and they're usually in a like little Yiga base. So I highly advise, if you are looking for really cool builds once you pick up this auto rune, is to yeah, just look for a bunch of schematics through the underground section of Hyrule. But yeah, here is where we actually have to battle him, and as you can see, yeah, he's using his own vehicle as mentioned. So let's go ahead and prepare ourselves and do this. Well, it does seem pretty easy, because you can kind of like, if you can go fast enough, quickly jump onto this. It's kind of hard though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot him down with a arrow. And then yeah, just like in Breath of the Wild, he was super easy. In this game, he is as well. Now I'm wasting a little bit of my durability here by hitting his vehicle, but it's no biggie, as I'm using a blade that can easily recharge itself if I so desire. You know, that could be in a video of its own as well. I know there's a lot of spoilers here, but in general, you know, if you are interested in seeing guides, you already got to expect that there's going to be certain things you can collect that you may have not reached. But luckily, we're making quick work of him. Again, because this can be done very early on. I'm actually doing a blind playthrough of this, and I found this pretty early on in the game and did all of this. I'm actually doing this on a separate file, as I can't get myself to not play this game. So yeah, I'm pretty much doing like 2 separate playthroughs. I thought for this playthrough at least I would record some guides. So yeah, hopefully you guys do like this. And again, if you want to see more, I'm going to do a bunch, but I'll also be covering it in my actual Let's Play and blind playthrough, if I do happen to find it, you know, blindly. But this I did, and you'll see my reaction in a future video. But yeah, there we go. Just like that, we're done. And now he's going to go ahead and leave this area, but obviously again, that doesn't end his quest line. There's a whole thing that has to do with him that we're gonna go ahead and do, obviously, in a future video, but still cool nonetheless. And what is really nice is I do believe we'll be able to easily chase after him, because we're going to be given the material. One issue with obviously using auto build is that it uses a lot of zonite, as well as your materials, you know, the zonite devices you collect in capsules. But if you do happen to find the parts just laying on the ground, you could easily make use of them, and auto build will recognize them in front of you, as you saw earlier. And obviously, for those who don't know, you get artwork of everyone, and we got a huge crystallized charge as well. Not bad. Will definitely go well in my collection, but yeah. Just like that, this is, I want to say, the end of the actual quest itself. I don't know, I feel like they're kind of tied together. You know, I could have ended by just showing how to get the auto build ability, but I kind of want to show off the whole thing, because now we're free to do whatever we want. If you choose to chase him, or just choose to start building your own creations, you can do so. But this steward construct does mention that you can continue chasing after him if you so desire, and yeah, we can go ahead and speak to this steward construct as well if we want to continue this quest. Again, it's not necessarily needed, but if you are looking for a couple extra parts and you are really eager to kind of get to the bottom of what's going on with Master Koga, you could do so. And you also get a schema stone. These are essentially the schematics that you can find from the Yiga, but the friendly version, as we can get them from the constructs as well. And you can find them all throughout the game as well. I kind of failed to mention that earlier, but yes, you could get both from the Yiga and the constructs, a bunch of schematics, and to me it's such a cool concept. But also, as you can see, the schematic we got can be used right here, and this is how you can kind of continue your quest with chasing Master Koga. But that's, you know, neither here or there. I think that's pretty much it. Let's just go ahead and show off how auto build works. So yeah, there you go. And here are some schematics I got if you are interested. But I'm sure there are plenty that I have yet to discover as well. And just like that, we can easily build it. Not really worth doing again because I'm not really going to use it, but it's cool that it's an option. Regardless, that pretty much about does it for this video. Let's just go ahead and quickly show off, not this, there we go, where, you know, we got the Master Koga artwork and his little bio. I love these, even though they're reminiscent of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I'm glad Nintendo put it into this game. But anyways, that about does it for this video. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been ZM, and let me know what other guide you'd want to see me cover in a future video. These are pretty laid back. I'm just playing the game, showing it off, but I'm having fun nonetheless. So let me know if you want to see anything similar to it, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye!